My name is Jacques Steinberg, and I'm a senior vice president at Say Yes to Education. And Say Yes is a national organization that helps entire communities make it possible for every public school student to have access to a college or other post-secondary scholarship, but also provides them with supports from kindergarten to grade 12 to be able to take advantage of that opportunity. Say Yes was founded by George Weiss, who's a money manager who had graduated from the University of Pennsylvania, and he himself was a full scholarship student from Massachusetts. So George Weiss, Mr. Weiss, who founded Say Yes in 1987, he certainly recognized that students were not graduating from high school, or if they were graduating from high school, they weren't necessarily college ready. And if they were graduating from high school and they went on to college, maybe they weren't completing college, or they were facing lots of problems in terms of trying to pay for college. So all those issues, college readiness, college access, and college completion, were all areas that Mr. Weiss hoped to address, initially with those 112 kids in Philadelphia, and now on a community-wide basis. The goals of our organization, if we're talking about individual communities where we work, and so far it's the entire community of Syracuse, New York, the entire community of Buffalo, New York, and as of September, Guilford County, North Carolina, which includes the cities of Greensboro and High Point. The goals within those communities is to make it possible for students in the public school district to be ready for a college or post-secondary education, to be able to afford that education, and to be able to persevere to the point of completing it. And we do work with in communities with a disproportionate number of students and families who would be considered low income or first generation college. So there's two main components to the Say Yes scholarship if you're in a community. So for sake of this example, let's talk about Buffalo. Locally in Buffalo, they are raising as a community a scholarship fund that will make it possible for every graduate of the local school system, the Buffalo City School District, to be able to go to an in-state public college or university, such as a SUNY or a CUNY, tuition free. And that's a local scholarship fund that's being raised. In addition, Say Yes has private college partners who provide scholarships to Say Yes students who are admitted to their institutions. Now it's 100 private colleges and universities, and I'm happy to say that one of our newest partners is Ithaca College. If you are a student in one of our districts and you are admitted to Ithaca and your family income annually is at or below $75,000 annually, then Ithaca has committed to provide you with what's called a last dollar scholarship to cover your tuition and fees. And that means after Pell Grants and state aid, that Ithaca, as one of our private college partners, has committed to cover the cost of tuition and fees for a student who meets the qualifications. The earlier that you start, the better. And so Say Yes feels that kindergarten or even before kindergarten is not too early. So one of the great things about this program is that if you are residing in the community and you are a student in the public school system, that you have access to the supports, the academic and non-academic supports. And each community's supports might be a little different, but it might be legal clinics, tutoring, mental health counseling, healthcare, and you get access to those just by being by being enrolled in the school district. For the scholarships, there is some tiering in some of our communities. For example, in Buffalo, you have to have enrolled in the district by a particular date, by a particular point in your schooling, to have access to that full tuition scholarship to the in-state public. And if you enroll later than that point, you may get a partial scholarship. Nationally, I think the figure is something like only 60% of the students who enroll in a four-year college or university graduate from that institution in 6 years, let alone 4, 60%. Now, some of the students do transfer and go on to graduate from other institutions, but most of them drop out. it takes the whole community, the broadest sense of the word community, to nudge those graduation rates upward. And so Say Yes is just an ingredient in a much larger mix.